Digimon Adventure 1999 and Digimon Tamers are easily two of the most well-known seasons of Digimon in the entire series. Adventure for being the entry point for the majority of kids in their youth, myself included, and Tamers for being easily the most well-written season of Digimon to exist to this day, beat break withstanding. No, that is not an opinion. That is a fact. Both series have insane moments that have been remembered and shared for literal generations at this point. And while I can compare them all day, that isn't what we're here to do. Hello everybody, my name is Mustache Panda, and today we are going to be finding out who is stronger. Tai's Metalgreymon from Adventure, or Takado's Wargrowlmon from Tamers. Let's get into it. If you know anything about me, you'd know Wargrowlmon is my favorite Digimon of all time. But can he stand up to the dimension-ripping might of Metalgreymon? In Digimon Tamers, in his very first appearance, Wargrowlmon is put face-to-face against one of the Deva Digimon, Mehiramon. Mehiramon, as well as the majority of the Deva, are extremely impressive Digimon. Mehiramon specifically was stated by Rika to have power rivaling an ultimate or mega-level Digimon. In their 1v1, Wargrowlmon is not only able to tank multiple hits from Mehiramon, he's also able to catch his tail when Mehiramon goes for a finishing blow, and one-shots him with his atomic blaster. Wargrowlmon's victory here wasn't a fluke or a one-off either. We see him defeat other Digimon like Indaramon and overpower Wargrowlmon, both of who should be relative if not stronger than Mehiramon. This mega-level power is backed up in external media such as the card game promo material, which states that the seemingly average Wargrowlmon should either rival or surpass the power of many mega-level Digimon, and this is without mentioning the digital hazard. Now, speaking of the digital hazard, unlike it's normally assumed, Metalgreymon isn't the only Digimon in the line that can use it to their advantage. It's been stated that Wargrowlmon should have access to the destructive capabilities held by the digital hazard. This same digital hazard is a massive threat to the digital world, so much so that Yggdrasil is aware of it. While it's debatable if Wargrowlmon would be able to affect the human world in the same way that Metalgreymon was able to, it's certainly safe to assume he'd have the destructive force to destroy the digital world if he wanted to. Hey everybody! I just wanted to jet in here and say thank you so much for watching the video. I won't do this very frequently, but it would mean the world to me if you would hit the subscribe and like button on this video. If we could hit 200 likes on this video, that would be awesome. Thank you again. Have a great day, and enjoy the rest of the video. Now, what about Metalgreymon? Well, in his very first appearance, he's put face-to-face with Etemon fused with the Dark Network. While Etemon himself is not the most impressive ultimate or perfect level Digimon, when fused with the Dark Network, he is shown to be warping the fabric of the digital world simply by existing. Alongside this, it was stated in the companion media of Adventure 1999 that this specific fused version of Etemon did in fact have the power to destroy the digital world, and Metalgreymon was able to beat this version of Etemon with a single Giga Blaster. Now, this initially doesn't seem quite as impressive as Wargrowlmon one-shotting multiple Devas with his atomic blaster, as both fused Etemon and Metalgreymon lack statements both within the series and from external media comparing them to the power of mega-level Digimon. But it's the outcome of this attack that really makes this feat somewhat comparable to what Wargrowlmon was able to accomplish. When Metalgreymon defeats Etemon, both he and Tai are sucked from the digital world back into the human world. But what exactly does this mean? Well, it was stated in the Digimon Animation Chronicle Memorial Art Book on page 30 that it wasn't the combined efforts of Metalgreymon and Etemon, but solely Metalgreymon's Giga Destroyer that broke the dimensional barrier, causing himself and Tai to return to the human world. Now, why is this impressive? Because this means that Metalgreymon was able to blast through 6 layers of network to breach back into the human world. As we discussed in my Wargrowlmon video, each of these layers should have the same or similar properties to that of the digital world, as each layer is isolated, and this should make each layer higher dimensionally than that of the real world. So, Metalgreymon should have the capacity to destroy the digital world due to his relativity and superiority over fused Etemon, as well as his capability to temporarily destroy multiple layers of dimensional barriers between the digital world's surface and the human world. So what would happen if these two were to meet in battle? Well, both Digimon have some pretty impressive feats. Metalgreymon should have the edge in overall experience as he is the older Digimon and has had overall more experience in his ultimate or perfect form throughout the series. When it comes to agility, it should be somewhat close as both Digimon can fly, but generally speaking, I think Wargrowlmon should have an edge here, as he's flying around with jet engines, and he's been shown to use those to close the gap between himself and others, as we see in episode 34 of Tamers, Lionheart. And we never really see Metalgreymon use his flight like this, so while their general speed should be close to the same, Wargrowlmon should have the edge in overall agility and maneuverability, both on the ground and in the air with his thrusters. And now the major deciding factor, overall strength and destructive capability. Now, while Metalgreymon should be at least relative to Wargrowlmon, that does not mean they are equal here. Here's the thing. Metalgreymon is impressive in this category, but things like his performance against Myotismon really hold him back in this fight. While Metalgreymon's performance against Fused Etamon is impressive, along with the supporting feats like Mega Kabuterimon, which you can hear more about in my last video, there's never a point where Metalgreymon is able to hurt or seriously injure Myotismon. Myotismon should not be any stronger than Digimon like Mehiramon and Wargrowlmon, who should be equivalent to a Mega level Digimon. I would argue that Myotismon is weaker than the majority of the Devas, as he doesn't have any statements like the Devas do. And considering that Metalgreymon is a vaccine type, he should have an inherent advantage over Myotismon as a virus type. Which means even with an inherent advantage, which he would also have against Wargrowlmon, as he's a virus type as well, Metalgreymon still was not able to wound Myotismon. Wargrowlmon, however, not only has statements that argue he surpasses a lot of Megas, he has also shown to be absolutely dominant over the ultimate or perfect level Digimon that he fights in the series, of which those ultimates have statements saying that they too have the power of Mega level Digimon. Alongside this, if he has access to the full power of the digital hazard as implied by outside media, his power could theoretically be orders of magnitude higher. So in the end, while Metalgreymon takes overall experience, Wargrowlmon should have the edge in agility and maneuverability, and an absolute dominant edge in both strength and destructive capacity. The winner of this battle is Wargrowlmon at mid to high diff.